You have an agenda? I didn't print one.
He took them all.
3 seconds.
Because I didn't print
Everybody's
anything.
beating on me.
Will's not
already.
feeling well with his knee, is my guess.
All right,
It was stupid, he's walking.
I took mine already.
good man.
I'll take the original, Will, for the packet.
Oh, yeah, that'd be
All
good.
right,
Oh,
What's
look, my
that?
color printer is
Bob, you ready,
dying.
bud?
Yeah, I'm all set.
You gotta
All
buy
right,
new
I'm
ink.
gonna open up the redevelopment authority meeting for March 11th at 6:03. First on the agenda is February 11th minutes, discussion and possible vote. What's the pleasure of the board?
Let's see.
I'll motion we accept it, and I have for discussion.
We have a motion, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Motion second, discussion, Bob.
Second, well, flip it over to the second page on number 5 about the open meeting law complaint. It should mention that the actions were in violation of the open meeting law, and that it not be happening again, because I think that's what was discussed. All it says is resolved by informal action. It should actually state that it was found in violation.
It was found in formal action.
It was resolved by informal action,
Right.
but there was a violation.
Okay. So we want to add,
Here's what I put. I put, it was resolved by informal action, but a violation was noted.
That's fine.
Is that it?
Yeah,
oh, all right,
yeah, that's fine.
Anybody
Otherwise, that's
else?
it
good.
for me.
Joanna, you okay?
Yeah, I don't see Michelle
Brian?
here tonight.
Just perfect.
Okay. Motion made and second to accept as amended. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Unanimous, thank you.
Mr. Chair, could I just briefly discuss the minutes for a second,
Sure.
under minutes? One, Michelle, Elaine Weston is on vacation. Diane Scully was supposed to do the selectmen's meeting tonight at 6:30. Her aunt had some medical emergency, so Michelle had to cover up
I
there.
got it.
That's why, and she's gonna transcribe using Will's little thing,
Recorder?
whatever
Okay,
that is.
okay.
That's number one. Number two, we have resolved the issue
Oh.
on recording the minutes.
Good.
Elaine and Michelle are gonna have worked, Kathy and Michelle have worked that out. So from
Okay.
now on, and she's gonna start going back and get all the ones
Okay.
missing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That was, Bob, I had looked on the agenda, and when I was looking at the agenda, I was trying to find minutes, and I could never find any minutes. After you left being secretary, there were no minutes.
Online?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That was
So-
because Michelle didn't realize, she thought Kathy was doing it, and Kathy thought Michelle was doing it.
Right.
Okay.
I think-
They resolved it.
Yeah,
So,
okay.
Alright.
moving forward.
Actually, can I make
Yeah.
a motion?
For,
Because of the information that we just received, I guess you didn't know about Michelle not being here to do the minutes, that we still pay her to do the 50 for doing the recordings of it, because she's going to be transcribing it.
Okay.
Because she's not here, I still think that she should receive the same stipend that, because she will be doing the same work as, even though she's presently not here.
all right, so that's an emotion,
That's a
Bob?
motion.
Very well done. Do I have a second?
Second. No, I,
Motion made and second to pay our secretary because she'll still be transcribing the minutes. To pay her
discuss,
the $50.
I just want to make sure, normally, every night, or every time we, at the end of the meeting, I'm upstairs. I make out a check for her. Shall I do that tonight also? Because it's always like from this
Yeah.
meeting.
You wanna wait?
I'm not gonna
until
be
she-
here, so I can sign a check, you guys can make it out, I don't know what you wanna do.
Well, even if you're not here, Bob can sign or I can sign.
I can't
or-
sign.
Oh, that's right, Bob can't. but
I can sign.
I'm sorry
Brian
about
can,
that.
so we're okay. We can always pay her.
Okay,
that
because
already.
normally,
Yep.
we pay her after this.
Yeah,
Motion
Okay.
made and seconded to.
discussion for a second.
Okey dokey.
very quickly, is the only reason why I made it as a motion now, because you didn't know, it was unexpected, that
Yep.
you didn't know what was gonna happen, because it just happened today, so
Yep.
this is the exception to the rule about being posted.
Something the
You know,
chairman hasn't foreseen.
Haven't foreseen,
Yep.
that's the word. Thank you very much.
So
That's
there's
it.
a motion made and seconded to pay our secretary for transcribing the minutes for tonight's meeting. It's a total of the $50, that's per agreement.
Yeah.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. What of you village invoice, I had this put on here. We have 3 invoices that we were supposed to pay, we still haven't written the checks. We gotta write the checks tonight. The fourth one has been inspected, haven't got the receipt yet from the plumbing inspector. It was done, so now I'll be sending another letter to the town administrator again to receive that. Just an update for you guys, that's all it is.
You don't-
We have two in our packages, though.
You don't need a vote for that or anything,
We
because we
already
already did
voted.
that,
You
right?
already voted.
Okay,
yeah,
good,
2-1.
thank you.
I don't know, these,
That's later on the agenda.
So, next on the agenda is
We're in
treasurer's report, January through February 2014. Joanna?
yes, everybody has this thing, and what I did is kinda weird, this is balanced, the way it says. But anyway, where I left off, I just continued on. So I'm wanting to know whether you guys approve that process where each month I would just give you all of the detail, and then I would strike a balance, and then the heading would say January through March or whatever. And the reality is, for me anyway, at the end of the year, now, when you come to the whole yearly treasury report, you'll see why. I just take it, and it's easier for me to transcribe it for that balance sheet than I have to do for the bank. So that's what that's for. So if you don't want that, let me know, I can change it, but it's easy for me.
No, I think it's fine. We don't have that much activity on it, so I'm okay with the way you're doing it. That's fine. And it'll be an ongoing thing, so I think it's.
Do you want that through a motion? I find it, yeah, I have a motion to accept the treasurer's report as written and the way it be written for this from now on.
Do we have a second?
I got a second, yep.
Motion made and second to accept the treasurer's report for January through February 28, 2014, and how it's being done. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye. Aye, unanimous, thank you. Joanna, treasurer's report for the year, fiscal year 2013.
Okay, the treasury report for the year 2013 was exactly how I said. I had to go back and draw everything up from the balance right straight through and the detail. This detail is what I use to present the next piece, which is the balance sheet that will go to
John Fitzgerald.
John Fitzgerald. That's DHD. No, that's not his name. John Fitzgerald is
Yeah.
DHCD?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, how about the guy in the bank? That's what
Paul
this,
Vickery.
that's what this balance sheet is for. Paul Vickery.
He needs it?
Oh, yeah.
They both, I thought they both.
We don't get the
do.
line of credit if we
Right.
don't get this.
We already have the line of credit.
It's gonna be done in June. I have a letter that says it
Oh,
will
okay, so
expire.
we'll
So
just
he
hold
still
on to
sees
it.
this, I see,
Yeah.
yeah.
I won't be
Okay.
here.
No, I understand.
I needed to
No,
get
you're
this,
right.
I
You're
needed to
right.
get this done.
Okay.
I don't think Mr. Vickery, John Fitzgerald cares about this. John
Yes, he
Fitzgerald.
does.
I thought he wanted the annual report.
And the financial statement.
Okay, well, I'll have to leave that, Mr. Chairman, I'll have to say that Jack will be the liaison on that because,
I'll mail it tomorrow. If you vote on this in the annual report, I'll mail them both tomorrow.
okay, so, but anyway, this is the treasurer's report, which shows you the beginning through the years. We have a balance at the end of 2013 is in the checking 2007, 13 and 13 cents. And the savings account was $45,926.13.
Question, Joanna. 1/14/2013, you have two entries on internal accounting.
Oh, I need
error?
to, all right, let me explain that. Jack Franny had gone and he was going to make a deposit, and for whatever reason, he wrote $24 instead of $24,000.
Oh, that's the difference.
Got
Yeah,
it.
so the bank, they
So I see it
processed
up there.
it.
Got it.
Right, so they had to process and they had to credit the difference.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then they made the deposit for him in the checking account. And then because it's some sort of an entry, I don't understand their accounting, but they plussed and minused it to zero
Yep.
on that, or maybe Brian
That
could
was,
explain
that was
it.
to balance the sheet. That's why they
Okay.
did that.
Ah, okay. And then through the year here, Town of Carver, we paid 93 North Main Street. So there are no more properties that we would have had to pay other than this one.
Yep.
We had the copier expense. We transferred $4,000 simply because you paid the first half of Collins Center for Public Management. Signs by Design, that was for the paint program. And then the rest was Michelle, and of course Kathleen O'Donnell, her invoices, and that squares it.
Okay, what's the pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve the treasurer's report for year 2013, and that Jack make sure he sends it off to Mr. Victory and Mr. Fitzgerald. And isn't Mr. Fitzgerald retiring?
Yes.
Yes,
I
yes.
sent
I sent that out, I saw that.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion made and second to accept the treasurer's report of year 2013, and also to have Jack Hunter forward the treasurer's report to Mr. Paul Vickery of Rockland Trust and John Fitzgerald at Department of Housing and Community Development. Any other comments, questions, concerns?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, I think this detail of the treasurer's report he doesn't need. What he wants is this Carver, the comparative income sheets. This
Yeah, we
is-
can
this
send
is
it
what he
anyway.
said. I mean, this is just telling us the detail. I don't think he needs to know that.
Okay,
Vickery or
Both,
Fitzgerald?
both,
Okay.
both.
okay, well, if they need it.
If they need it, we've
moved
got
to
it, but-
Give it to
I
them
gotta call
anyways.
John tomorrow anyway, and just
This is the
congratulate him.
important part right here. We'll be going through that, if you will.
All those in favor, I'm trying.
Sorry.
Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Bob.
You're
There's a
welcome.
method here, huh?
Next on the agenda is the balance sheet, year 2013, 2014. What's the pleasure of the board? Joanna?
These are the sheets. The first sheet should be assets. I don't know how they came out. The first sheet is an asset
Yeah,
sheet.
that's what they got. Oh, that.
No, that's in reverse.
Oh, yeah.
The second sheet talks about the revenue. The third sheet is general information, which is a repeat, if you will, just for them to know. And if you look at the asset sheet, this third sheet, which says we had deferred liability, which means in 2014, and maybe it's coming soon, if not now, or this month, next month, whenever, the rest of that money that you owe them, 9,400. So it's 5,700.
Oh,
That's what that means. Okay, and the third sheet, which talks about the properties, net closing, deferred revenue, accrued cost, where what we said to here is there were no properties sold in 2012 or 2013. The Wade Street property was returned to the town in 2013. However, we have a note 3. If you look at the second page of revenue, under operating expenses, you'll see an asterisk there for 93 North Main Street, and that's what we paid to the town for $24,574. The last line says the share for 93 North Main Street property due to the town 2012 was subsequently paid in 2013.
Yep.
So that's what all those explains.
she is right, this is what they want.
Yes,
Yep.
exactly.
Okay, so what's the pleasure of the board?
I make a motion that we accept all of this wonderful treasurer's report, the comparable income sheet, the notes to financial statements, the comparative years, December 31 to 2013, and the comparative balance sheet. We accept those as written to be used for the DHCD and Mr. Vickery
For our line of
and
credit.
anyone else who wants it and needs it.
Thank you very much, Bob. Do I have a second?
I second all of what Bob just said.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Mr. Chairman, I just have
Good
one
job.
one interjection here, not about the balance sheet. I received from Rockland Trust a 1099 showing how much
Got it.
Interest.
interest we earn.
Okay,
I'm hoping,
I'll give you an update on it.
okay, great, otherwise I was gonna have
The
to approach.
1099 INT that we received from Rockland Trust is a requirement of the bank or financial institute to send out to the IRS and to the bank
Us.
account owner the interest that has occurred. From talking with my teacher at class, who's an ex-IRS agent, and speaking with Meg, who's the town accountant, also from Paula, we are a government agency through the Department of Housing and Community Development, which we are exempt. So what we do is we just put it on file, keep it in our file, that's it. It's sent to the federal government has it, and that's it. We're not required by law to file a tax return.
Okay.
So it's just for audit purposes.
That's all it
That's
is.
exactly.
Got it.
Okay.
So that was the explanation that was given to me. Without getting exact details,
Yeah.
I would need all the documents and all the legislation that went through for us to give to the IRS agent, who was my instructor,
Okay.
to actually have a firm, definitive answer, but in a nutshell, that's
So
what it is.
we're a quasi, we're really a quasi.
We're
You're not-
actually a
A
government,
We're a
municipal?
a
municipality.
municipal
Okay.
entity,
Will's
so we're
gonna,
exempt.
is going for a CPA license.
No, he's not. He's just trying to get educated to save kind of a couple
Well,
of bucks.
I just know from past experience, every time you get a document, the IRS needs to know something.
Yep.
So I didn't know what the something was, so
Absolutely.
I won't worry about it.
So moving forward,
Can,
go.
with that being said, can that 1099 be put on with our file for the minutes?
I don't have it.
Or,
I do, I have.
she has it,
Give
so
it to
shouldn't that
Kathy
be?
Kay and she'll put it in the file
Okay.
system.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah.
brought it
Good.
with me tonight.
All right.
Good.
Okay. Waterview Village expense project
Number
sheet.
6, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead. I already
Where's the-
checked out. 2013 annual report. Joanna,
The 2013 annual report talks about mission, the activities we did in 2013, namely the Aubuchon Hardware Store Big Ben Paint Program. In addition to that, we donated $2,800 towards the creation of Crystal Lake Community Garden, which I'm thinking, Jack, there's a bill coming in to
It's
pay.
on the agenda.
Okay,
Got it.
great. Those monies, and if you turn it over, you got it there? Okay.
Yep, oh yeah.
With Town of Carver, investigation towards the sitting and funding for the new elementary school, fire station, and police station. For that, the CRA agreed for that Collins Center, $9,700. In conjunction, the last paragraph talks about, in conjunction with NSTAR and Waterview Village, we did this project to convert from propane to natural gas. It talks about, we committed up to $4,000, and I inserted the savings were estimated about $2,000 per year per household. I'm sure that's correct. I didn't, Jack, you know. And then we close with the members, and that's that. Now this is the report that's gonna go to the selectmen tonight, because it's due.
okay,
Now, I read in the paper that, this is the Carver Reporter, that the selectmen said when you send these reports in, they only wanted a certain font,
Yeah.
and they don't want bold.
I'll take care of it.
You'll take care of it, fine, no problem with that.
okay,
This
so,
also has to go to John.
John Fitzgerald, that's DHCD.
so the annual report has been done. Do I have a motion?
Make a motion, we approve the annual report for the Carver Redevelopment Authority 2013 to be sent to the town and also to Mr. Fitzgerald. That's it.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Motion made and second to accept the annual report of 2013 for the Carver Redevelopment Authority, with forwarding it to the town of Carver and also to John Fitzgerald of the Department of Housing and Community Development. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Very good job, Joanna.
I'm not through.
I feel
Who
you.
knows that?
Now,
Hold on.
Yeah.
Waterview Village expense project sheet.
Yeah, you know what, you didn't print out the right one. I don't know what this is.
That's what I have.
No, this is not it.
Okay, so-
It's a long matrix, and it shows there's 5 people and 4 people in there. It shows expense. In total, it come up to about 2,000.
Well, you got all 4 here. Is
Who
that what
does?
you're
It
talking
says the
about?
sheet didn't fit on one sheet.
Right.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's what happened.
Okay, guys, put
Gotta
them
Do
together.
fit to sheet.
All right.
I have to look at, oh, okay.
Somebody has to flip it over.
Gotta do
Oh, all right, I see it, okay.
Okay, all
We're good.
right, great. So this is the matrix that thanks to Kathy, created and I adopted because it's perfect. On the left-hand side, it shows the name, the address, and these are 1, 2, 3, 4 people.
Yep.
The date, promissory signed exactly from that. 80% of the project cost, which we paid, going across. The attorney filing fee, again, which each one received. The total loan amount under each was here. And the maturity date for that lien that would be placed on their property.
Yep.
On the bottom part, which is the expenses, it's just the same. It just goes across and it shows you the expenses that was incurred, by whom, for what, and the amount underneath each column, which is the people. And down the bottom, in total, it was $2,840.
That's what I was looking for.
Right. We're gonna have to print it the right way,
I have a question.
okay?
On the first one where it says expenses, on the
Want to get
third,
into discussion first?
I'm sorry, yeah.
You gotta do.
Make a motion to
moving.
approve this for discussion.
Second that motion.
Thank you, a
Let's go.
second. Go ahead, Bob, thank you.
On the Nanette Coldstring.
Yep.
It says 560 for 80%, but then it says 520
Oh,
down below.
oh, I didn't notice that.
Can I just get that green, the top sheet right there, yep. Oh, no, that's not it. I gave,
Do you want the whole thing?
yeah,
Yeah.
please. Oh, here.
Nanette Coldstream.
Fit to page.
That's not me, that's
520.
Kathy. That's Kathy.
520 is the right number.
520, so the top one, 80%, it needs to be changed
Correct.
to 520.00. All right, so I make a motion that we amend Nanette Coldstring's amount at the top of this page at 80% project to 520.00.
I'll have it corrected and I'll resubmit it to Kathy.
And just to fix the font, I mean,
Yeah.
the layout of it.
Yeah, well, Kathy printed it, I don't know
fine.
why she did it that way.
I
have a
printed
motion.
it, not Kathy.
We have a
Josh,
motion and a second
Okay.
to accept with the proper amounts for Nanette Coldstream.
With
Any
Lance.
other discussion?
Okay. no.
Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Very good. Next on the thing is Abishon Paint Program update from Jack.
I did talk to Jim Needham, who is from corporate. He loved the idea. Let's keep it going, he said. I called Eric Gazette at the Carver one. He said he did talk to Jim. He's on board. He just wanted to get the final okay from the marketing department, and he would call me back when he talked to them. So it's a go, and he said he would hang up the poster, he'd hang up the sign, we can do internal marketing, but they're ready to go. He also told me that the woman on Cross Street did take 2 gallons of paint, but he's not heard a peep from her.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, the question he had of marketing, now I recall, is whether they want to use the same coupons.
I think we should. I mean, they printed them all
Yeah,
printed
out.
it all
might
up.
as well,
Already there.
yeah.
I thought so too. He thought so. He wanted to get confirmation.
Okay, so we'll know probably at our next meeting.
I think absolutely, you're gonna have to get it out there for April. That's
Yes.
when people
Oh,
are starting to
definitely,
think about
yeah.
these things.
The other thing too, Jack, you had submitted something to CCAT. But it didn't have the right logo on it, and I spruced it up, and I sent it on to Goulet, whatever his name is.
Yeah.
Rich.
Rich.
You might want to reinvent that. I think I sent you a
Yeah, I've had
copy
this
of it
discussion
also.
with him before
Yeah.
about these things. He doesn't like the heavy colors and all that.
Well, it was the
Yeah.
size or something that was not
Yeah.
right, and I
I'll
know I
It's because it
spruced
doesn't fit on the TV,
Yeah.
Oh,
right?
okay, yeah.
And he doesn't want to do a lot of manipulation around it.
Yeah.
All right, because
I know, I
that's really
fixed
not
it
his
up.
job,
I
so.
fixed it up.
Yeah, well, Bob's right,
Yeah.
and, because I got some other newsletters, he said, what am I doing with this? I can't do this.
Yeah.
The issue
I'll talk to him.
also is that, once you put it up there, I mean, you can only put so much on a screen.
And you
All
can't
right,
see it.
and you can't see it, so like, you could have a rolling one.
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
if you
I fixed it.
want to send me the information, I can format a.
It's all done. It's done. He has it. He put it up there.
Did you send it to me?
Yeah, and I also
You
sent
did?
it to
Yeah.
Rich. I sent it to Rich, I can resurrect it. I can resurrect
Because I
it.
can run it as a video instead of just a boom news flash.
yeah.
I can run it as a video and loop it around, and then he can just cut in the loop for it.
I'll send Bob what I got and what you gave me, and then you can go from there.
Anything that I do, I'll bring back to the board before I
Thank you.
put it out there.
Okay. Because he
Okay.
puts it, excuse me, but he puts it in a little time frame that it
Yeah.
goes, it cycles itself
Yeah.
and, yeah, okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you very much, Jack, appreciate that. So at our next meeting, we'll have that on, and we should have some answers on it.
I think we'll have the okay.
Okay,
I can't believe we won't.
next on the agenda is Crystal Lake Community Garden, Newcomb invoice, discussion and possible vote. I have the original document which we approved on the amount, and the amount was $2,800 to authorize.
Gosh,
Come is that stupid thing working? I have it on off, but it's running, sorry, guys. For $2,800
yeah,
is what we had agreed to pay, and Newcomb had sent us an invoice dated 1/23/2014, invoice number 14568, and the number that they're looking for is for $3,600. The difference is the disposal of stumps excavation. On his initial invoice, or what he had signed us, is disposal of stumps from excavation is $400 per load, estimate 2 loads. We agreed on $2,800. They had four loads of stump removal, which comes out to $1,600, and that's the difference in the cost. They never came back to us and said that there would be more. I personally, without a change order approved from this board or anything, I'm not willing to myself approve the up cost of that. I'm willing to approve the $2,800, the expenditure there, but as far as the $800 additional for the excavation of stumps, disposal of stumps, I'm not willing to do that, because he didn't bring it back to us, he never notified us of it. You just don't go and do it and then bill you anyways. It's not standard practice. So, and there was no time limit on this. There was no push on this, the excavation being done and all that other stuff. We had the rest of the winter and spring to get this done. I know that he.
well, I was
probably
just
had
gonna ask you,
stuff
what
there,
was
but-
that date? I forgot, it's so long ago.
Well, we approved it in July 12th of 2013 was
Wow,
the
I figured it was somewhere around there.
the proposal
Yeah.
that this board authorized to sign the expenditure of $2,800, and then to come back and do this, so. That's my thing. Bob?
I was actually at that meeting for the Crystal Lake Garden there.
Yep.
When they discussed this. It wasn't Newcomb's, they subcontracted it out.
Huh?
So that could be another issue with that. I don't know. None of us know, but they didn't receive any change order either. Really, we
But our
weren't
contract is
notified.
with Newcomb.
I totally agree. I totally agree with that, and, like I said, the way it's put in there, and
Yep.
I don't know, I say we pay the 2,800 and that's it. And if they wanna come after us for the rest, go right ahead
Yep.
and we can talk about it, because, I don't know.
I mean, you're only talking $800,
Right.
but it's not what we
No.
agreed upon. They
Right.
should've came to us, and now hearing from Bob,
That is
who attends a lot of these things, that they subcontracted it out, then that's on them. They were allotted $2,800 to do the job
Did it
that's
have two
specified.
loads? 2,800 was gonna be two loads?
Two loads.
Yeah,
So if his estimate was 2 loads, and he found out, it's gonna be more than 2 loads, he should have stopped and at least made a phone call or something saying, listen, I'm gonna have more loads, it's gonna be a little bit more. Then we could have got somewhat of a verbal, then a follow-up with a piece of paper to bring to this board.
Are you talking about he being the contractor, not CJ?
Newcomb.
no, Newcomb,
Newcomb.
Mr. Newcomb,
Okay.
yes.
Newcomb's
All right.
responsible
Yes.
for the job.
Yeah.
So what I would like us to do is discuss that, and then also at the end, I'm looking for an authorization to pay set amount that was contracted out, of the $2,800,
I'll
so.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the payment of $2,800 per our contract with Newcomb's for the tree and stump removals. I also request that we get some type of a photo of what it was
Yeah.
that we
That we
looked
were-
at.
yeah, yeah.
That was there, so we can put with the file
Yep.
of what we did.
I can do that. I might
All
have
right, we have a
Yeah.
motion, do we have a second?
Yeah, we have a
Yeah.
second. to-
Motion made and
Second.
seconded to pay the Newcomb Tree Service for the Crystal Lake Community Garden Project, total of $2,800. That was in said contract of 7/12/13. And
Does it have
also-
an invoice number on there?
I
So
do.
when we put it with our check on
Yep,
Yeah.
invoices 14568. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, everybody, appreciate that. Next on the agenda is something that I asked to be put on here is the role of the RDA in the master plan update. It's just for a discussion, I'm not looking for any action or anything like that. During the process that's been taking place from the Building Study Committee and all, they've noticed that they've looked at the master plan. The master plan for the town is very outdated and had recommended that, we look at updating that. Well, we have potentially an article from the planning board going on town meeting to fund this. We have an estimate for, I want to say it was $64,000 to do the master plan update. Hasn't been done in 13 years, did I misspeak?
Nope, that's right.
So 13 years. This is an essential document that all boards use all the time. Hasn't been done in a long time. So that being said, the redevelopment authority, I was looking for us, if we wanted to help contribute towards that upon approval of town meeting to fund that. And what set amount, we can discuss it. I think it's definitely falls into our criteria because the information from that will help this community as they move forward and develop. So I think it falls well within our scope of where we could fund it. Now, whatever amounts that we discuss to do that, I would be looking forward at a future date talking about this and coming out with an amount that we would be willing to contribute to this, non-refundable. It will be given to the town. I'm not going to look for it back. At least that's my opinion. And also, we're partnering with the town to get this done. And it would help the taxpayers, because the taxpayers would have to fund this entity. Whether it gets approved or not, if it doesn't get approved, then obviously we wouldn't be on the hook to donate. But I think it's a good thing for us to do, give back a little bit more, seeing that that's what we do. We do give back quite a bit. I don't know what you guys' thoughts are on that. Bob?
All right, because I've read the master plan, I've read the housing plan, I've read the community recreation and plan there, and the only,
The open space.
open space, yeah, and recreation plan. Very interesting reading. I just see that some of these plans, just my own personal preference, is that the plans are made up and everything, and they're not utilized, they're not followed. I mean,
Well,
there's a
the
lot of
master
stuff.
plan, if you look at the master plan, when it was implemented 13 years ago, we did, when Jack first got here, we had a little meeting or what have you, a seminar that UMass Amherst came and did a community outreach and see what we had actually done. And there was, I forget the percentage that was already, 75% of the master plan within the first 5 years was already implemented by the town. That's pretty impressive. You know,
I've
I would
read-
love to know where we're at now, because I know we've gone, this town has moved so much, but that's pretty impressive.
I saw there were a number of things in that really we haven't really done
Yeah.
anything to. And like I said, I don't have a problem throwing the money there, because it is needed, and I think we utilize it for grants and
Oh, yeah,
other things
definitely.
too.
That
So it is
helps.
needed. It does, if we have something in there, it's just, I think it has to be reasonable, the goals that are set under the master plan, but no, I think that's a good idea. We do need it. We need to have guidance for it.
I won't put you on the spot, but
No, go right ahead.
if you were gonna set an amount that you'd like to discuss, that as a donation towards this, what do you think?
20, 25? around there?
I don't know if we got that.
Well, I was
Well,
just
we
gonna
got
tell
40,
you.
we got 47,000, right? or something?
There's 45,000,
45.
but let me tell you, we got 2,800 for the Newcomb. We got 54 for the Collins Center.
Yep,
We have another $2,840 for
But didn't we
the,
already pay those?
no,
no,
Well, we didn't pay Newcomb, but I thought we paid Collins already.
half,
Half.
4,000.
Oh, we only paid half. Oh,
Half.
all right.
And
I didn't mark
2,000
those down.
Complete.
So we'll have to change that amount.
2,000, well, let me finish. $2,840,
No.
$2,840 for the conversion
Yep.
for the propane, 11,000. If you subtract 45,
five.
which we have, and 11 is 34 we'll have left. If you
remember
take that
you
Stick it a
amount,
still
third.
have the paint program going
Yeah.
on also.
that's right.
So you got
Well,
to, we don't want to handcuff ourselves,
Right.
but
I'm thinking a third of what we
And then
have.
you got the
Percentage-wise,
possibility.
maybe a third
Huh?
toward it.
I'll talk in a minute.
I don't know.
okay, well, it's good discussion anyway.
A third of what we have financially wise, not a third of the amount.
Yeah,
So
like
that's-
10,000.
That was my number that
Is
I
that-
was throwing
yeah,
out. I'll
that's-
get to you, Jack.
That's good.
I would say 10,000.
Brian, what do you think?
Well,
I mean, it's just a discussion.
Well, we've been talking about a lot of other things too, at other
Yeah.
meetings where money has been an issue, and we haven't even brought those back to the table, like, the last time we were at this table, I think, we were talking about an elevator for some
I forgot about
handicap,
that.
or
That's
whatever.
coming.
That poor individual. So we gotta think about those things
Okay,
before we go
great. I
thinking
forgot
about
about
throwing out
that.
$10,000
Yeah,
and $20,000.
exactly, yeah, because that'll be expensive.
My number is somewhere around $5,000 to start with, and if we find out that we have a little bit more, then maybe we,
Well, I want to throw this in the cog,
You
which
know?
is, this is kind of a good update for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
With working with Michael Donald, the new town administrator, on the,
Michael O'Donnell,
Yeah.
you,
He's the town administrator?
No.
I said Michael Donald and the town administrator.
oh, all
Oh, I
right.
thought you said.
I thought he said
I
that.
thought he did too.
Yeah, I'm
With
like,
working with them.
You got promoted.
On-
Demoted.
demoted,
As a note.
Demoted.
make less money.
Working with them in discussions of our agreement on paying the Collins Center. Their intentions are to reimburse the redevelopment authority for said sums. Whether it happens this upcoming town meeting or not, their intentions are to do that, and that's coming from both people. Now, they reimburse us the
Well-
$9,700 it is, then that $10,000 isn't that.
$9,400.
It's not, no.
You know what I mean?
But are they gonna, my only
Don't
question, oh, all right, I won't go there, all right, fine.
It's,
All
the
right.
budget is, the town, and I know I'm getting off base, the town budget is so crucial right now. I wouldn't
Yeah.
expect to see it, and that was the word that I got from the town administrator.
No,
So just to give you guys an update that the ball hasn't been dropped there, I have been working with them to try to move forward, their intentions are there. It doesn't know if it's coming
Well,
this year.
they have to
or
look at a
next.
couple accounts. We might have to roll in a couple accounts
But,
well,
to make
I
it
don't wanna
up.
set expectations and then disappoint people,
Yep.
knowing that, we wanna help out, and I understand that, and everything for the town is, it should be something that we put way at the front, but
Yep.
we've got other people who've been coming to the table,
yeah,
and if we can get that $9,700 back, sure, flip
Mm-hmm.
it. But until that $9,700 is on the table, and it's a chip that
Then
we
it's
can
not
play,
there.
then it's not there. So-
I'm just wondering if they're gonna roll it into the price of the project, if that's
I
gonna
don't
come out of that. I don't know, that was my only thing with it, but,
but I want you guys to at least get
Yep.
this as a thought.
That's good.
I think it's a project that's very well needed for us to be involved
Who
with.
writes this master plan?
It'll be done through the planning board and who did we get the estimate through?
Serpent.
Serpent.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I just wanted to bring it up for a discussion. Moving on.
can we bring that back, oh, go
We-
ahead.
Oh,
Sorry.
I nipped you and I said that I'd get to you.
I have to
Go.
go to the vice
All right,
chair.
you're done.
I'm not the vice chairman.
Brian, sorry.
So, I'm invisible.
A couple things, maybe a role, the part in this quote that's not there is the facilitating. There's a lot of facilitating in the beginning to try to get people to express what they do. And interestingly enough, I watched last night, bored as I was, the selectmen had a session with a facilitator last week? I don't know when it was. And it was excellent, I thought. I saw the last maybe 30 minutes. And they voted, by the way, to support this article. They haven't even seen the article
For the master plan?
for the master plan. They voted 4-0.
Well,
I
I
didn't,
missed that one.
So the
So-
It's a special
facilitator
meeting.
is,
So the facilitator would be, much like we had Dr. Mullen here
Yep.
twice, he would engage people to come up with the ideas and set the direction for the town. Then Serped would run with it with all the data. We'd have committees set up for each discipline, like transportation and highways and this and that. And we'd try to get it into a document. Serped is obviously it's a government
Nonprofit.
agency, so we're getting a great deal from them. So perhaps either with Brian's number or Bob's or something in between, it would help to pay for that facilitator and match it. I was gonna reach out to the private sector, but the private sector is pretty tapped out right now. I was gonna see if Makepeace would be interested in participating, and maybe some other companies, but that might be an avenue to go to.
you say facilitator getting knowledge, he gets it from the public?
Yeah,
See,
Yeah, well,
I think I went to the
the
library
guy that
one
they
time.
picked-
yeah, that's
13 years ago, I think I went to the
No,
library.
well, maybe you did then, they had one then. By the way, they started it, I looked at the article, 15 years ago, they paid $65,000.
Oh, so we're right in the same boat.
13 years.
That's a big monetary
Today's
difference.
money, yeah, that's a big difference.
Okay, so let's move forward.
So we'll bring this back at another time.
Yes.
Please.
Public comment. Seeing no public, moving on. Members' comment. Brian, you got anything?
Not at the moment, no, I'm pretty content with what's going on, so.
Okay. Joanna?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, being the treasurer, a little cautious about money going in and out here, but I don't know if we can discuss how we can grow the treasury. Maybe Bob's got some ideas, but we were lucky when we started. We had some houses, but I don't think we have those anymore, so that doesn't sound like an area to go. I don't know if you have grants or what do redevelopment people do to raise money?
Read it out.
They,
Redevelop?
they buy property and,
Sell it.
or given
Yeah.
property and they, sell it like you are. I know that Will goes to a lot of the TOPS meetings where we vet any new properties that come through tax rolls, and just one hasn't made, and we don't get many now, but they're starting to come through again. And there may be some that are appropriate, but right now, none. We haven't had, we had a TOPS meeting maybe, right when Michael started, so I think he's been here 5 weeks. I think we had it then.
He sounds like a go-getter.
He's a
NBG.
NBG.
What does that mean?
Don't say it. We're on tape. Anyways, I'll let you know after the fact.
When the meeting's
yeah.
adjourned, he'll let you know.
All right.
Bob?
That was one of my things here. It was proposed housing's available. If we can get a discussion going with the tax collector and see where they're at with those and the properties. I know
Yeah.
there was the car wash up there, and there are a couple of other ones I think on the rolls. So possibles or whatnot.
Maybe we can get an update from Tom
Getting,
and see
yeah,
where we're at.
find where we're at for that.
I can give you one next time.
Okay. Then next thing is, for next meeting, if we could put on, sign, remember I brought before you a issue of signs to kind of condense all the directional signs around?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
I wanted to kind of resurrect that again. And what I did is, I printed out a couple things here if you want to take a look at them. All right, but these is my thought process only, okay? Is that it'd be more like something along this line here. What I'd be looking at with a round little ball at the top like this, that would be like a maroon color
Okay.
there. All right, that would turn around or something along this line. But I took these offline so people can take a look at them.
Are those big enough to see? Let me tell you what, I come off the ramp,
Mm-hmm.
44, right? You get off the ramp, and I'm looking at Dunkin' Donuts, and then there's somebody stuck nouns, painting,
Anytime Fitness,
Oh, yeah,
USA
yeah, yeah,
Fitness.
yeah. I said,
Now in pain.
Planning
"Whoa,
board
Belvin,
troubles
where
with-
are you with your sign construction?"
and-
Is that
yeah.
what why you meant?
Yes,
Those
those
are
ones,
directional
those are directional signs, and
They're
then.
permitted.
Yeah, but they are permitted, right. So, something like that, if we can put that on the next agenda so we can just talk about, for it.
Even if
Right.
they're permitted, they should be in one, like you say, it should be
Okay.
something that you can.
Which
no.
brings me to my next thing for it, if,
Okay.
I don't know if it's this, authority that we want to push forward a sign bylaw to adopt something like this available to the planning board for it, or the planning board's going to look at, because we could go ahead and do all this work and everything, and the planning board says, no, we don't wanna do this. Okay, we don't wanna condense all the signs together or whatnot, and I'm not putting your planning board, you don't, but,
I got a different
Do-
hat right now.
Okay.
But I tell you that
And that's-
we looked at this before. I did a lot
Right.
of work on this.
okay, so, but do we wanna look at a possible article at town meeting to say, hey, we want to have the availability to do this
Are we
at a
too
future
late?
time? I don't think we can do it this year.
Yeah, but
Today was a
I
cutoff.
like Bob's idea a lot.
Yep.
You knew that before. The planning board shot it down about 5, 6 years ago, the chairman did. But maybe if you guys come up with the concept, then bring it to the planning board and have it ready for fall town meeting.
Right, but I think we should discuss it a little
Yep.
more next meeting,
Yep.
all right, because you didn't know about it. and-
Take pictures of the ugliness of what I just said. You have to prove
Board,
people.
You don't have
There was
to
a whole
read it.
article in the paper at one point.
Yeah,
I
they
think.
There
struggle
was,
for
there
it.
was an
all the
article.
time, yeah.
Oh,
All
my
right.
Once you
God.
get
So-
one, you
You
can't.
good?
And just the last thing that I have here is, on the website we had, there was this, thing, it said RDA on the side here, on, department headlines, it said RDA, and it was about the first-time home buyer thing. It kinda looks like the Carver RDA.
And it's
was-
not.
And it's not, it's Plymouth RDA.
Yeah.
All right, so I just wanna make sure that
I'll
people
tell
understand
Kathy.
that
Yep.
if they could just put Plymouth RDA.
Yep, yep.
I don't, it's a great program, it's
No,
nothing against the
no,
program, I just wanna make sure
I
that
think
they
that-
get credit where credit is due for it.
I got that flyer. I
Yeah.
told Kathy, put it
You
on,
can look
maybe
at it,
some
I'm sorry it's
people-
so small, I had a
And
cut
she
and
must
paste thing.
have got confused about.
Yeah, that's fine, I just wanted to
Yep.
bring it up, and like I said,
Right,
it's
the
a
only-
good program, that's it for
Yeah,
me.
thank you. The only thing that I had was, don't know if we have to move money from our savings account to the checking to cover the checks that we have to write tonight. We got $2,800 that we gotta write, plus the three, for the,
Plumbing?
plumbing, the gas thing. So if I do it quick enough.
Collins Center hasn't billed us
No.
yet?
They're not
Hey.
complete.
What, would you say, 4,000 something in checking? If I remember correctly, something.
We only
like
have 2,000 in the checking, so,
Right.
6/13/30.
let's see, we got,
Don't have
We
enough
got about,
money.
we got
No.
about
no, we don't have
60,
enough money.
50 something, $100 that we have to write out, so we need to transfer some
Okay.
funds. So,
Make a
Yeah.
motion, we transfer $6,000
Yeah, okay.
from the, money market to the checking account,
Okay.
that should cover us.
do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded, transferred from our money market account, total of $6,000 to our checking to cover our expenses. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, that's all I had. Next meeting,
Shoot, I did have one other thing,
get book.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
With the election coming up, I have turned my papers in for it. I also heard that, Charlie Boucher, Boulay also
yeah.
put his papers in for this position. So,
we,
no matter what happens either way, I just wanted to put it out there that, if I win or I lose, I'd still like to put on as the, governor's appointment if I don't pass. All right, so we fill up the board to a member of 5.
Good
I think
idea.
that like I said, if Charlie doesn't win, that we offer it to him too to come on board,
Yep.
We have a direct conduit now to get that done.
okay?
I would
Finally.
love to just get.
John
it.
Fitzgerald?
No, it's another person.
Oh,
Good idea,
guess.
Bob, I
Okay.
like that. All right, so
Well, it
next,
worked for
next
you.
meeting,
Yeah, that's true.
next meeting,
I'm not being here until
Yep.
June 9th.
Tuesdays are working because,
Tuesday works for you?
yeah,
Tuesday
'cause I
works
still
for
got,
me.
I'm Monday all the way in through to May, so.
Um,
It's good for me.
All right, so the first Tuesday of the month, I just gotta check check I have, that's April Fool's Day, which is perfect.
Why? The second,
And I
you
have- You
wanna do
met
the second or the eighth?
The second,
You can do this,
the
Yeah, you
second,
want
because
the second.
you're supposed to be in class.
No, this is Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Well, that's why we switched it.
Yeah,
Well,
'cause
then
we
why
both
did we
do
go
Monday.
Tuesday the 8th?
Tuesday, the 11th
Because
in
he has
March?
Right, so April-
he has class on Monday.
yeah, so April 8th, what time is good?
6 o'clock is fine with me.
6 is good for me,
works
so,
too.
somebody wanna make that motion?
We're making all the motions
All
tonight,
right,
go
I make a
for it.
motion, next meeting would be the
Eighth.
April 8th, 6 PM, room to be announced.
All right,
Yeah.
I will second that.
Motion made and second, for our next meeting on the 8th of April at 6. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second it.
The time is
say aye.
6:53. Aye.
6:53.
I wanna
Bob,
find
my,
out who booted you
we're
out of the
adjourned.
room.
Mike died, so could you
Give
send
that
that to us
to Michelle.
from Michelle?